So I'm going to close this up. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take one finger and open it the opposite way. This is our natural last page then, okay? It comes right here. This is our natural last page. And I'm going to show you what I do on this page. So the first thing I do, which I haven't done because I jumped right in, but normally I will do a pen test. What that looks like is I will just take, here it is, my markers, and I just literally will write at the top here, pen test. And the reason I do this is just to see if the colors I picked out are indeed the colors that I want to go with. Now, sometimes I will write what colors they are, but lately I haven't been doing that because I have them. I know what colors they are. I don't need to sit there and figure that out. Tombos you have to look up online. So what I typically do is just kind of put them in an order that makes sense, like this, kind of like whatever order makes sense to me. And then I will just pick one and I kind of just do this. So I take the brush side and I'll do that. And then I take my fine tip side and do that, just so, because sometimes they are a little bit different. So sometimes I just make sure like the colors that I want to use are going together, and just make sure that I like them, because sometimes it does look different on paper and then I'm like, ooh, I don't like that one, and then I'll take that out of my mix. You can do this or not do it. It's just something fun to do, and it kind of gets like my mood going, right? Like I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to use this. Somebody just said, I can't wait to use this. Oh, it was Tracy. I know, this is such a pretty journal. Oh, it's so pretty. So you can do something like this if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up since I started. And then we're gonna start over here at the top. And I could write like these are tombos, and I might write tombos just so I remember, but I make color charts with my pens. Oh, Tracy, that's a great idea. Do you put them like, do you just keep them on like paper? That's a really good idea. I used to, before we moved, I used to do a thing where I would take like 3 swatches on 3 different little like index cards, and I would say, what color ink should I use? But I've stopped doing that because, I don't know, I just kind of throw them all away. So I stopped doing that for now. All right, so these are tombos. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of come up here and do a little arrow like this to make it fun. And then I'm just going to write tombos. And I think it's, I always want to make it 2 words, but it in fact is only 1 word. But I always want to make it 2. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and grab my mild liners really quickly. Let's see what order we should do these in. That's pretty simple because I only picked a few of those. So you can see that the tips on these are a lot different. They're a little bit fatter. Mild liners are good if you want to highlight something and still see through it, because they do also kind of like double as highlighters, depending on the colors. Hi, Miss Lisa, how are you? All right, so that is our pen test page, and I'm just going to do another little squirrely here, and then write mild liners. Okay, Now, the other thing I like to do is a stencil test. Now, this probably is a little strange, but I like to see what it's going to look like before I start to draw it on any of my pages. So in the back of the Art of Planning and Journaling, there's that pen test page. I always do a stencil test with what comes in on that page as well, just so that I can be familiar with how much space it's really going to take up or what it's going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and just right underneath here, I'm just going to put stencil test. It also helps me see if I need to add anything to a stencil. Sometimes like the shape is there, but you might want to add in like a little color or something. So sometimes it will help with that. You can do this a couple of ways. You can do this with markers, or you can do it with a pen and then kind of see which way you like it better or that kind of thing. I'm going to do this with markers today, and I am going to just pick this one, I think. And I'm just going to go through and make the shape of what these all look like so I can get an idea. And I will tell you, I love this little block one with the lines. These lines are the same size as our, well, they're not the same size, but they're the same distance apart as our XL line stencil too, just FYI. All right, let's make our dragonfly go this way just for fun. Now the dragonfly is delicate, so just be careful when you are going up around the wings. Just be careful, and then the little head. The antennas, unless you're a really fine point pen, are hard to connect. So see, it almost looks like our little dragonfly is sad. But what we're going to do is we're just going to attach the antennas, and now it is not sad anymore, and then we're going to draw the lines here. So that's why I like to test it first so I can see what I need to do. All right, then we're going to come over here and draw our sweet little butterfly. Okay, so obviously this one doesn't have any antennas, so if you wanted to draw some antennas, you could. You could also draw in the body of it, like that, and then you have like more of a butterfly section. I'm going to go ahead and color that in there. The other thing I was going to tell you is on the boxes, it might be fun just to like color them completely in, because it just leaves a little dot when you do that, so then you can still just color everything in. Okay, next one up is our washi tape. Now I did this already, so I'm just going to do a few really quickly so you can see them. I'm just going to do them in a different color. Typically my planning style is more functional than creative. I save all my creativity for my journal, typically. That's just kind of what I've always done. I do color code sometimes though, when I feel like things are starting to get a little chaotic. That does, color coding definitely helps to organize the chaos a little bit when you color code. Okay, so that is an example of what a stencil test would look like. So now you guys know if you want to do that, you can do it in the very back, you can do it in the very front, you can do it in the middle, you can do it wherever you would like to do that. This just gives you an idea. It's a fun way to kind of visually see like, okay, these are the colors I picked out. Are they going to do the things that I want to do? I can tell you by looking at this like this and then looking at our paper, because sometimes I'll put the paper up here. These two were actually not supposed to be down there because I had pulled them out to go with the pet paper, the Paul paper. So these two will probably really not see a whole lot of attention in this journal, but the rest of them, the rest of these colors, look, they look really nice together, except for these top two. So they probably won't see a whole lot of action over here in there.